Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'll be looking at the Innovatek Complete Water Cooling Kit. What is included in this package is a pump. Also you get a fitting for the top of the pump. I'll show you how that goes all together a little later on. Right here we have the water reservoir, Arctic Silver 3 thermal compound. You also get the water block as well as the clamp. And as well, some elbows here for the tubing if you want to direct the tubing in different directions. Also some tie downs, and the tubing is 3/8 of an inch thick. You also have a radiator, and included as well is a 120 millimeter fan. This fan comes with a grill as well as a 3 to 4 pin power connection as well as 8 screws. Now the screws are used to take the fan, mount it to the rad, then the grill goes mounted to the fan. With any water cooling system like this, you do not want to be using water from your tap. The reason for that is water from your tap contains a lot of minerals and therefore conducts electricity very well, and also those minerals are going to really eat away at all the parts that are in the system. This is the pump. This is an IME 1046 centrifugal pump. It pushes around 79 US gallons and consumes around 5 watts of power, and it goes plugged into your outlet. It does not go plugged into your power supply. Now there's a little trick here to get this to work. You actually have to disassemble some parts on the pump, and I'll show you how to do that right now. There's a little faceplate here which slides right off like so, and there's also a fitting, and this fitting just unscrews. Once you've done that, you can take this fitting and put it in the top of the pump, then take the reservoir and just push it all the way in. And this is very simple to do. You really want to make sure that it's all the way in, like I've done here. You can see here it's gone all the way in. Now there's really no way here to mount this. They have not included any kind of clamps to really make sure that this thing stays together. However, I'll just shake this very vigorously, and you can see here this is really not going anywhere. So you can do that if you want to. You can kind of jerry-rig something to make sure that's never ever going to come off, but again, it's on there very securely. A little bit more detail here on the tank or reservoir. It's made by Innovatek, and it's solid aluminum. Now this tank really services as a convenient means to fill and automatically bleeds air from the system. There's also a compression fitting here at the front. Now something else with that, as I've shown you, it really simply mounts into these pumps, which makes it fantastic. They have included a Innovatek copper core water block in this kit, and you can see here at the bottom that huge copper core, which is very smooth and reflective. Therefore, you're going to get great contact between the copper core and your CPU. You can see here at the bottom there is some sticky tape. You want to leave this on until the very end because it protects the copper base from being scratched or dented. Also at the top here we have these two fittings. Now you can actually remove these if you want to and apply some Teflon tape or plumbing tape to them, screw them back in just to be safe and just to ensure that you're not going to get any leaks. That is completely optional. This clamp is great. It simply pops on the top here, and then you can see mounts to the socket. You can tighten it by turning this knob here clockwise, to loosen it counterclockwise. The radiator that they have included in this is made by MaxPert. The dimensions on it is 5 3/4 inches by 4 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and as you can see here, it's really thick, and all of the copper tubing goes in and out all the way through this radiator. Also, they've included a YS-Tech fan here. The fan spins at 2,400 RPMs. It's around 69 CFMs, and as well the noise level is at 35 decibels. Now how this works is like so. You can mount this fan really the way that you want to. If you want to pull air through it, mount it like so. If you want to push air the other way, you can do that as well. That is really dependent upon the case that you have and how you mount this inside of your case. You could go ahead then and mount the fan with the 4 screws to the rad, then go ahead and mount the grill onto the fan with the other 4 screws. The next thing you want to be considering is a case layout. You want to figure out exactly where you want to be placing the rad and the pump, and really depending upon where the rad and the pump is going to dictate how long each length of tubing is going to be. I've cut off a little length of tubing here just to show you how tubing gets attached to the different parts that are in this water cooling kit. The rad, first of all, has these little tiny rubber protective things here on the top. Just go ahead and remove those. Then go ahead and just slip the tubing down over the top. And once you have it all the way down, you can go ahead then and install that twist tie over it just to ensure that it's not going to be going anywhere. Now, as you can see here, this is a little tricky to get on, but once you get it on, you want to push it all the way down, or as far as you can get it down. I would recommend going down at least an inch. Once you get it all the way down to where you want it, go ahead then and just fasten a twist tie on it just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. Attaching tubing to the other parts of this kit is extremely simple for both the water block, the tank, and the pump. They have these fittings here, and how this works is you just remove this part, apply the tube over like so, as you can see here. Once you do that, you just screw this back on the top. Make sure it's all the way down nice and secure, and that's it. Once you have all the tubes connected up, you want to do this outside of the case, and installing the fan here is an option because it's not in the system. You just want to test the system to make sure that there's no leaks whatsoever. You can see here as well, I have some